Imagine you're in a self-driving car, cruising down the highway at 70 miles an hour. The system is flawless. It's handling the speed, the lane changes, the traffic, everything. You're relaxing, listening to music. Suddenly, from the woods to your right, a deer bolts onto the pavement directly in your path. You have less than a second to react. In that fraction of a second, your car's sensors detect the object, identify it as a living creature, calculate its trajectory, check the lane to your left for other cars, measure the friction of the asphalt, and execute a perfect, high-speed swerve to avoid a collision, before seamlessly returning to its lane. Your heart is pounding, but you are completely safe. What just happened in that blink of an eye wasn't magic. It was a life-or-death computation. And where that computation happened is the single most important technological question of our time. It's a question that will define the next 20 years of innovation and shape the very fabric of our reality. Because for the last 2 decades, we've been told there's only one answer to where computing happens: the cloud. We've all been taught to worship at the altar of the cloud, this vast, invisible, all-powerful brain in the sky. And for good reason. The cloud is a modern miracle. It's the reason you can stream a 4K movie on Netflix without owning a single DVD. It's the reason you and your team can collaborate on a single document from 1,000 miles apart. It's the home of massive data centers owned by giants like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, humming with millions of servers, holding a digital version of our entire civilization. The cloud gave us superpowers. It offered us virtually infinite storage and limitless processing power, on demand, for pennies on the dollar. It was, and still is, the ultimate engine of digital transformation. It's the powerful centralized brain that made our modern world possible. But the cloud has a fatal flaw, a kryptonite it can never overcome: physics. Specifically, the speed of light. Let's go back to our car. Imagine if, in that critical moment, the car's sensors had to send all that data, the video feed of the deer, the laser scan of the road, the proximity of other cars, all the way to a massive data center 1,000 miles away in Virginia. That data would travel at nearly the speed of light through fiber optic cables. The supercomputer in the cloud would process it instantly and send the command back: swerve left. But even at the speed of light, that round trip takes time. It's not a lot of time, maybe just 70 or 80 milliseconds. A literal blink of an eye. In most cases, you'd never notice it. When you're streaming a movie, that delay is irrelevant. When you're saving a photo, it doesn't matter. But when you're traveling at 70 miles an hour, you cover over 100 feet per second. An 80 millisecond delay means your car travels an extra 8 feet before it even begins to react. 8 feet is the difference between a close call and a catastrophic failure. That delay, that travel time for data, is called latency. And it is the cloud's Achilles heel. It's the fundamental barrier standing between the world we have now and the world of true science fiction we've been promised. A world of instantaneous robotics, autonomous drone fleets, truly immersive virtual realities, and remote telesurgery. For these things, a delay of even a few milliseconds isn't just an inconvenience. It's a deal breaker. So what's the solution? If you can't make the data travel faster, you have to shrink the distance. You have to move the computation closer to the action. You have to move it to the edge. And that is where our story truly begins. This isn't a story about the cloud being replaced. This isn't cloud versus edge. Thinking about it that way is completely wrong. This is the story of the most powerful and perfect partnership in the history of technology. It's the story of how the centralized power of the cloud and the decentralized speed of edge computing are coming together to build a future that was, until now, impossible. Think of it like this. The cloud is a brilliant, world-renowned brain surgeon at a major hospital like Johns Hopkins or the Mayo Clinic. This surgeon has access to every piece of medical knowledge in existence. Every research paper, every patient history, every complex brain scan. They perform the most difficult, life-altering operations that require immense data and strategic, long-term thinking. Edge computing is the paramedic on the scene of the accident, the first responder. They are right there, in the ambulance, making split-second life-or-death decisions. They don't need the entire library of medical knowledge to do their job. They need to know how to stop the bleeding, how to apply a defibrillator, how to stabilize the patient right now. The paramedic handles the immediate, time-critical crisis. The surgeon uses that stabilized patient data to plan the complex long-term recovery. The paramedic and the surgeon aren't in competition. They are partners. They need each other to save the patient. And in our story, that patient is our entire digital world. By the end of this video, you are going to understand this partnership. We're not going to just throw technical jargon at you. We are going to show you with concrete, real-world examples how this duo is already quietly reshaping our lives, and how it's about to unleash a wave of innovation that will make the smartphone revolution look like a minor tremor. You'll understand why your city is getting smarter, why our factories are becoming self-aware, and why your video games are about to become indistinguishable from reality. This isn't just for tech enthusiasts. Understanding this shift is as fundamental as understanding the invention of the internet itself. It's the blueprint for the next decade of progress, and it will define the companies, industries, and nations that lead the 21st century. To truly grasp the power of this partnership, we first have to respect the absolute dominance of the cloud. We need to understand the kingdom before we can understand the new alliance it's forging. The cloud isn't just a bunch of servers. It's a whole new way of delivering computing as a utility, like electricity or water. It generally comes in three main flavors, which you've probably heard of: IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Let's break them down. Forget the acronyms. First, there's infrastructure as a service, or IaaS. Think of this as leasing a plot of land and a pile of raw building materials. Amazon Web Services or Microsoft Azure will give you the virtual land, the server space, the networking, the storage, and you build whatever you want from the ground up. You're in control of the operating system, the applications, everything. It's for the builders who want maximum control. Next, you have platform as a service, or PaaS. This is like renting a fully equipped workshop. The land is there, the building is up, the electricity is on, and all the tools, the saws, the drills, the lathes, are provided and maintained for you. You don't have to worry about managing the underlying infrastructure. You just show up with your project and start building your unique creation. This is for developers who want to create applications without the headache of managing the deep-level hardware. Finally, and most familiar to all of us, is software as a service, or SaaS. This is like moving into a fully furnished apartment. You don't build anything. You just show up with your suitcase and start living. Everything is managed for you: the software, the updates, the security. Think Google Docs, Salesforce, Netflix, Dropbox. You pay a subscription and the service just works. This is how most of us interact with the cloud every single day. This three-layered model made it possible for a couple of kids in a garage to build an application and scale it to millions of users overnight, without ever buying a single physical server. It democratized computing power. It is the engine of the modern economy. So we have this incredible centralized brain in the cloud, capable of unimaginable power and long-term intelligence. And we have this emerging need for fast, responsive local intelligence at the edge. The brain surgeon and the paramedic, the strategist and the soldier. But the most important question is, how do they actually work together? What makes this partnership more than just two separate ideas? Because the secret isn't just that they both exist. The secret is in how they communicate, how they divide the labor, and how, together, they are creating something entirely new. A planetary-scale nervous system for our civilization. Let's unpack that idea, because it's not just a cool-sounding metaphor. It's the most accurate way to understand this revolution. Think about your own body for a second. You have a brain, the most powerful and complex processing unit known to existence. It handles abstract thought, long-term memory, learning, and making big strategic decisions. It's where you consolidate experiences, dream up new ideas, and figure out who you are. This is the cloud. The cloud is a centralized powerhouse of computation and storage. It's those massive, anonymous data centers you see pictures of, sprawling across acres in places like Oregon or Virginia, humming with the power of millions of servers. This is where we do the heavy lifting. When Netflix wants to train an algorithm to recommend the perfect movie for you based on the viewing habits of 200 million other people, that happens in the cloud. When scientists at NASA simulate the formation of a galaxy, a process that requires crunching petabytes of data, that happens in the cloud. When a company needs to store decades of financial records, accessible from anywhere in the world, they store it in the cloud. The cloud is magnificent. It's a testament to our ability to centralize and scale intelligence. It's our civilization's collective brain. But just like our own brain, it has a fundamental limitation. It's not everywhere at once. It's centralized. There's a physical distance and therefore a time delay between the brain and the rest of the world. For you and me, the signals from our brain to our hand take a few milliseconds to travel. Feels instantaneous, but it isn't. And in the digital world, those milliseconds are an eternity. This delay is called latency. And latency is the great enemy of the real-time world. Imagine a self-driving car. It's cruising down a highway at 70 miles per hour. Suddenly, a deer jumps onto the road. The car's cameras and LiDAR sensors see it instantly. Now, what if the car had to rely only on its brain, the cloud? It would have to package up all that sensor data, beam it over a 5G network to a data center hundreds of miles away, wait for the cloud servers to analyze the image, make the decision to brake, and then send that command all the way back to the car. By the time the signal returned, the car would be a quarter-mile down the road, and you'd be dealing with a tragedy. The brain is too slow. The problem isn't its processing power. The problem is physics. The speed of light is a hard limit, and network congestion is a reality. For tasks that require instant life-or-death decisions, the cloud is simply too far away. Or think about a modern automated factory. A high-precision robotic arm is assembling a smartphone. A sensor detects a microscopic flaw in a component. If that robot has to wait for a command from a central cloud server to stop, it might assemble another 50 phones with the same flaw, costing the company hundreds of thousands of dollars in wasted material and time. The reaction needs to be immediate. This is where the other half of our planetary nervous system comes in. This is the edge. If the cloud is the brain, edge computing is the peripheral nervous system. It's the network of nerves and reflexes that permeates the entire body, capable of sensing and acting locally, without waiting for instructions from the brain. When you touch a hot stove, your hand doesn't wait for your brain to process the pain and formulate a plan. A reflex arc in your spinal cord takes over, commanding your muscles to pull your hand away instantly. Only after your hand is safe does the pain signal actually reach your brain, and you consciously realize what happened. That reflex arc is edge computing. The edge is all about bringing computation and data storage closer to the sources of the data itself. Instead of sending raw information all the way to a centralized cloud, the idea is to perform as much computation as possible right there, on the edge of the network. So what is an edge device? Can be almost anything. It's the small computer inside that self-driving car. It's a smart camera mounted on a street corner. It's a sensor gateway on a factory floor. It's your smartphone, a smart speaker in your home, or even a sophisticated medical sensor on a patient's wrist. These devices are the nerve endings of our digital world. They are the eyes, ears, and hands, and they are designed to do three things incredibly well. First, they act. They make immediate, low-latency decisions. The self-driving car's edge computer analyzes the camera feed in real time and slams on the brakes in a fraction of a second. The factory's edge gateway detects the flaw and halts the production line instantly. This is the reflex. Action without hesitation. Second, they filter and process. These edge devices are smart. They don't just mindlessly pass along every single bit of data they collect. That would be incredibly inefficient, clogging up our global networks with useless information. A security camera doesn't need to stream 24/7 footage of an empty hallway to the cloud. The edge computer inside the camera can analyze the video locally. It can sit and watch, and only when it detects motion, a person walking by, does it send that specific relevant clip to the cloud for long-term storage or further analysis. It acts as an intelligent gatekeeper, deciding what's important enough for the brain to see. It pre-processes the data, cleaning it up and packaging it neatly, saving immense amounts of bandwidth and cloud processing power. Let's put this all together in a real-world scenario that's happening right now. Precision agriculture. Imagine a massive 1,000-acre farm in the Midwest. In the old cloud-only model, you might have hundreds of soil sensors across the fields, all constantly sending moisture and nutrient data back to a central cloud server. The cloud would analyze this data, compare it to weather forecasts, and then send instructions back to the farm's automated irrigation system, telling it which specific zones need water or fertilizer. This is already a huge improvement over traditional farming, but now let's add the edge. Each zone of the farm now has its own small local edge computer connected to the sensors. This local computer has been trained by a powerful AI model from the cloud. It knows the optimal conditions for the crops. Suddenly, a sensor detects a sudden drop in temperature and a specific humidity pattern that indicates a high risk of a flash frost, which could wipe out the entire crop in minutes. The edge device doesn't need to ask the cloud for permission. It doesn't need to send the data on a long journey and wait for a reply. Based on the model running locally, it makes an autonomous real-time decision. It immediately activates a targeted sprinkler system in that specific zone. The water coats the plants and freezes, forming a protective insulating layer of ice that saves them from the frost. The reflex saved the crop. Now, here's where the partnership becomes truly beautiful. After the event is over, the edge device sends a small, tidy data package to the cloud. It says, "At this time, under these specific temperature and humidity conditions, I detected a frost risk and took this action." The result was successful. The cloud, the brain, receives this report. It also receives similar reports from thousands of other edge devices on farms across the country. It takes all of this new real-world data and uses it to learn. It refines its AI model, making it even more accurate at predicting frost. Maybe it discovers a new variable it hadn't considered before. Then it pushes this new, smarter, updated model back out to all the edge devices. The reflex acted, and the brain learned from the experience. The entire system got smarter. The edge handles the immediate now. The cloud handles the long-term, how to be better next time. This is not a competition between two technologies. It's a symbiotic relationship. Perfect feedback loop. The edge provides the cloud with high-quality, pre-filtered data from the real world, and the cloud provides the edge with ever-increasing intelligence to make better decisions. One can't reach its full potential without the other. Together, they are creating a system that can sense, act, and learn at a scale and speed that was unimaginable just a decade ago. This isn't just about faster cars or more efficient farms. It's about building a world that is more responsive, more intelligent, and more connected to the physical reality around us. And we are just beginning to see what this planetary nervous system is truly capable of. To understand this partnership, let's move away from abstract concepts and step into a scenario that could happen 5 years from now. Picture a busy intersection in a smart city. A delivery drone hums overhead, cars, some driven by people, some driving themselves, flow through the streets, and pedestrians are checking their phones as they wait for the light. It's a normal Tuesday afternoon. Suddenly, a tire blows on a semi-truck. The truck swerves, jackknifes, and collides with a self-driving passenger vehicle. It's a serious accident. In the world of yesterday, the story would begin with a bystander dialing 911. The response time would be measured in minutes. But in this world, powered by the partnership of edge and cloud, the response has already begun before the sound of the crash has even faded. This is where the nervous system analogy becomes real. The first reaction isn't from a centralized brain far away. It's a local spinal reflex. The instant the truck sensors detect the catastrophic tire failure, and the autonomous car's LiDAR registers an unavoidable impact, the edge computing layer ignites. We're talking about computation happening right there, at the scene in a fraction of a second. The autonomous car's onboard computer, an incredibly powerful edge device, doesn't need to ask a server in another state for permission. It instantly deploys the airbags, tightens the seatbelts, and kills the electric battery to prevent a fire. It simultaneously broadcasts a digital distress signal, a mayday call written in the language of machines. That signal is picked up by the intersection's own edge computing node, housed inside the traffic light pole. This isn't just a light, it's a small data center. Within 50 milliseconds, it processes the distress call. It immediately turns all traffic lights at the intersection to red, stopping any more vehicles from entering the danger zone. It activates high-intensity LED streetlights to illuminate the scene, even in broad daylight, to give first responders a clearer view. Another edge device, a nearby traffic camera, swivels to focus on the wreckage, its onboard AI analyzing the severity of the impact and identifying the number of vehicles involved. All of this, the car's safety protocols, the traffic light lockdown, the camera's analysis, happened in less time than it takes for a human to blink. There was no delay, no lag, no round trip to a distant data center. This is the power of the edge. Immediate, localized, life-saving reflexes. But a reflex on its own isn't enough. You can't solve a complex problem with just a knee-jerk reaction. You need intelligence, coordination, and a big-picture view. You need the brain. And that's where the cloud comes in. As the edge devices are executing their instantaneous tasks, they are also streaming a curated package of essential data up to the cloud. Not the raw, messy firehose of data, but the important stuff. The force of impact, the location, the initial visual analysis from the camera, the fact that the passenger's in-car health sensor is reading an elevated heart rate and a possible concussion. Now the cloud, the vast, powerful, centralized brain, goes to work. Its algorithms absorb this data and fuse it with trillions of other data points it already manages. It knows the real-time location of every ambulance, police car, and fire truck in the city. It doesn't just dispatch the closest one. It dispatches the right one. It sends a heavy rescue fire truck, because the camera analysis suggested a person might be trapped. It routes the ambulance not along the shortest path, but the clearest path, by automatically changing traffic lights blocks a way to create a green wave for the emergency vehicle. Simultaneously, the cloud is notifying the nearest Level 1 trauma center. It sends them the preliminary data from the car's sensors, so the emergency room team knows what kind of injuries to expect before the patient even arrives. The cloud is also orchestrating the city's response. It's rerouting traffic across a 5-square-mile area, updating digital road signs, and pushing notifications to other drivers' navigation apps to avoid the gridlock. It's even alerting the trucking company's logistics network that a key shipment will be delayed. Do you see the perfect partnership? The edge was the firefighter kicking down the door. The cloud was the incident commander directing the entire operation from a helicopter above. The edge handled the immediate physical reality of the moment. The cloud handled the complex, citywide, logistical aftermath. If you relied only on the cloud for this, the latency would be fatal. That half-second it takes for a signal to travel to a data center and back would be the difference between an airbag deploying on time or too late. But if you relied only on the edge, the response would be chaotic and uncoordinated. The car would protect itself, but the ambulance would get stuck in the traffic jam that the accident caused. This beautiful, symbiotic relationship is the blueprint for our future infrastructure. And it's not just for emergencies. Think of a massive automated factory. Edge sensors on a robotic arm detect a microscopic vibration that's out of spec. The edge processor on the machine immediately shuts it down to prevent a catastrophic failure that could cost millions. That's the reflex. Then it sends the vibration data to the cloud. The cloud's AI analyzes that data against patterns from 10,000 other arms in factories around the world. It realizes this specific vibration pattern is an early indicator of bearing failure. The cloud then proactively schedules maintenance for every other robotic arm in the company that is showing even the slightest hint of the same pattern, preventing future breakdowns before they ever happen. Edge for the immediate stop, cloud for the global predictive fix. Or consider modern agriculture. An edge-powered drone flies over a 1,000-acre farm. Its multispectral cameras process images right on the drone itself, identifying a specific patch of crops that is suffering from a nitrogen deficiency. It doesn't need to upload terabytes of raw video. It just sends the coordinates of the problem area to the cloud. The cloud then cross-references this with satellite imagery, weather station data, and soil moisture sensor readings. It calculates the precise amount of fertilizer needed and dispatches a self-driving tractor to that exact spot to apply it. Edge for the local discovery, cloud for the optimized, resource-efficient solution. From retail stores where edge cameras let you walk out with items while the cloud processes your bill, to hospitals where bedside monitors use edge AI to catch subtle signs of sepsis in real time while the cloud manages the patient's long-term electronic health record, the pattern is the same. The edge senses, acts, and filters. The cloud receives, analyzes, and orchestrates. This isn't just one technology replacing another. It's not a competition between edge and cloud. It's a fundamental re-architecting of how we interact with information and the physical world. It's about putting the right kind of computing in the right place at the right time. We're building a system that has both lightning-fast reflexes and a deep, thoughtful intelligence. But this seamless dance between the local and the global, the reflex and the thought, doesn't just happen by magic. It relies on an invisible superhighway of data, a network so fast and so reliable it changes the very definition of instantaneous. And that brings us to the unsung hero of this entire revolution, the connective tissue that links the nervous system together. That connective tissue is not a single fiber, but a web of next-generation networks. And at the heart of this web, the technology that makes this entire symphony possible is 5G. Now, I know what you might be thinking. 5G? Isn't that just about downloading movies faster on my phone? And yes, on the surface, that's part of it. But that's like saying the invention of the jet engine was just about getting your vacation photos developed a little quicker. It completely misses the revolutionary scale of what's happening. To understand why 5G is the linchpin for the future of computing, we need to look past the marketing and see it for what it truly is. A fundamental redesign of how our world communicates. It's built on 3 pillars, and each one is a game changer for the edge and cloud partnership. The first pillar is the one everyone talks about: speed. Officially, it's called enhanced mobile broadband. But let's call it what it is: ludicrous speed. We're not talking about a small jump from 4G. We're talking about going from a winding 2-lane country road to a 20-lane, perfectly paved superhighway with no speed limit. Think about the data generated by an autonomous vehicle. We're talking terabytes of information per day from its cameras, its LiDAR, its radar, its internal diagnostics. Sending all of that raw data to a distant cloud over a 4G connection would be like trying to drain an Olympic swimming pool through a drinking straw. It's just not feasible. But with 5G, that data flows. It's a fire hose allowing the car's local edge computer to send massive, critical datasets to a nearby edge server for heavier processing, or to the central cloud for long-term model training, all in the blink of an eye. The sheer bandwidth of 5G unlocks a new scale of data collection and analysis that was pure science fiction just a few years ago. But speed, believe it or not, is the least interesting part of 5G. The second pillar is where things get truly mind-bending. It's called ultra-reliable low-latency communication. That's a mouthful, so let's break it down. Latency is delay. It's the time it takes for a signal to travel from your device to a server and back again. In online gaming, we call it lag. And it's annoying. In the world of edge computing, it's catastrophic. Imagine a surgeon in New York using a robotic arm to operate on a patient in a rural clinic in Montana. The surgeon makes a microscopic incision. If there's even a quarter second of latency, the robot's movement will lag behind the surgeon's command. The result could be a severed artery. That operation is impossible without near-zero delay. 4G latency is around 50 milliseconds. That feels instant to us when we're browsing the web, but for machines that operate in microseconds, it's an eternity. 5G aims to reduce that latency to as low as 1 millisecond. That is, for all practical purposes, real time. It's the speed of the human nervous system. When you touch a hot stove, the signal travels from your finger to your brain and back in a flash, telling your hand to pull away. 5G gives our machines that same reflexive, instantaneous communication. This is the pillar that allows an autonomous car to communicate with the car in front of it to brake simultaneously. It's what allows a drone inspecting a wind turbine to instantly send a high-resolution image of a hairline fracture to an edge server, which analyzes it and tells the drone to zoom in for a closer look, all in a seamless, real-time loop. Low latency is the magic that makes remote control and machine-to-machine coordination not just possible, but safe and reliable. It collapses the digital distance between the edge and the cloud, making them feel like they're in the same room. And that brings us to the third pillar, the one that truly enables a connected world: massive machine-type communications. This is about density. How many things can you connect to the network in a small area? If you've ever been to a packed concert or a football stadium and tried to send a text, you've experienced the limits of 4G. The network gets congested and everything grinds to a halt. 4G can handle a few thousand devices in a square kilometer. 5G, it's designed to handle up to a million devices. Let that sink in. This isn't for a million people trying to post selfies. This is for the Internet of Things. This is for the smart city where every single traffic light, every parking meter, every air quality sensor, every piece of public infrastructure is connected and talking. It's for the smart factory, where thousands of sensors on the assembly line are all reporting their status every millisecond. It's for the smart farm, where tens of thousands of soil sensors are monitoring moisture levels across vast fields. Before 5G, the idea of connecting everything was a logistical nightmare. You'd overload the network instantly. With 5G, the network doesn't even break a sweat. It's designed for this massive, chattering world of machines. It provides the capacity for every device at the edge to have a voice, to constantly feed its small piece of the puzzle into the larger intelligent system. So you see, 5G isn't just faster 4G. It's a completely different architecture for a different kind of world. The speed lets us move massive amounts of data. The low latency lets our devices react in real time. And the massive connectivity lets us build a world where everything is smart and connected. It is the perfect delivery system for the edge-cloud partnership. It's the high-speed, zero-lag, infinite-capacity nervous system that links the edge's reflexes to the cloud's intelligence. And it's not just 5G. In specific environments, other technologies play a crucial role. Inside that hyper-connected factory or your own smart home, Wi-Fi 6 offers incredible speeds and the ability to handle dozens of devices without interference, acting as the local area network for the edge. For the most remote edge devices, an environmental sensor in the Amazon rainforest or a buoy monitoring ocean currents in the middle of the Pacific, a new generation of low Earth orbit satellite networks is providing the vital link back to the cloud, connecting the unconnected corners of our world. This web of connectivity is the final piece of the foundational puzzle. We have the centralized, all-powerful brain in the cloud. We have the fast, reflexive local nervous system at the edge. And now we have the instantaneous high-capacity connective tissue that binds them together into a single cohesive organism. The hardware is in place. The architecture is defined. The communication is seamless. So the question is no longer, how do we build it? The question is now, what can we do with it? What happens when you point this incredible new form of intelligence at our oldest and most complex problems? What happens when you use this system not just to optimize a factory, but to manage an entire city? We're talking about creating something truly revolutionary. A living, breathing digital twin of our world. A perfect virtual replica, updated by millions of sensors in real time, that allows us to see the invisible, predict the future, and solve problems before they even begin. This isn't science fiction. This is the blueprint for the next generation of infrastructure, industry, and even society itself. Think of it like this. For centuries, we've been navigating the world with a paper map. Then we got GPS, a live view of where we are. But a digital twin that's like having a perfect to the second 3D simulation of the entire world running on a supercomputer, allowing you to not only see where you are, but to ask, what if? What if we close this bridge for repairs? The twin simulates the traffic impact across the entire city in seconds. What if a storm surge hits this specific part of the coast? The twin models the flooding, identifies vulnerable infrastructure, and pre-deploys resources before the first drop of rain falls. This godlike view of our world, this ability to peek into the future, is only possible because of the perfect partnership between edge and cloud computing. They are the two halves of the system's brain, working in perfect, intricate harmony. Let's break down how this actually works. The digital twin needs to be fed a constant, torrential stream of data to stay in sync with reality. This is where the edge comes in. The edge is the nervous system of the physical world. Billions of sensors, cameras, drones, and IoT devices are the eyes, the ears, and the nerve endings. A sensor on a bridge measures stress and vibration. A camera at an intersection counts cars and pedestrians. A soil monitor on a farm measures moisture and nutrient levels. Each one is a tiny point of data, a single pixel in an ever-changing masterpiece. In the old model, all of this raw data would have to be sent to a distant cloud server for processing. Imagine millions of high-definition cameras streaming video 24/7 to a data center 1,000 miles away. The sheer volume is staggering. The cost would be astronomical, and the lag, the latency would make any real-time application impossible. By the time the cloud server figured out a car was about to run a red light, the accident would have already happened. This is where edge computing performs its first magic trick: data triage. The edge device, or a small server nearby, acts as a local brain. It doesn't just mindlessly forward data, it understands it. That smart camera at the intersection doesn't send the entire video feed to the cloud. Instead, the edge processor analyzes the video right there, in milliseconds. It identifies the important information. A pedestrian is crossing against the light. Traffic flow is 30 cars per minute. An ambulance is approaching, and sends only that tiny, refined piece of data to the cloud. It filters the signal from the noise, reducing the data burden by over 99% and enabling instantaneous, localized action. It's the difference between mailing a full encyclopedia versus sending a single text message with the one fact you need. So the edge handles the immediate, the right now. It's the reflex, the fast twitch muscle fiber that pulls your hand from a hot stove before your brain even registers the pain. But what about the big picture? What about learning from the past and planning for the future? That's the domain of the cloud. The cloud is the system's long-term memory and its higher consciousness. It's where all those millions of tiny refined data points from all those edge devices are collected, aggregated, and stored. It's where the digital twin actually lives. Inside massive cloud data centers, incomprehensibly powerful computers take this global stream of information and weave it together. They use artificial intelligence and machine learning to find patterns that no human could ever spot. They can analyze a year's worth of traffic data from 10,000 intersections to create a traffic model so accurate, it can predict a jam 3 hours in advance. They can correlate energy usage data with weather patterns and public event schedules to optimize the entire city's power grid, saving millions of dollars and preventing blackouts. The cloud is where the deep thinking happens. It runs the massive simulations. It asks the what-if questions. It learns and evolves. But here's the most beautiful part of the partnership, the part that makes it truly revolutionary. It's not a one-way street. The cloud doesn't just hoard this wisdom, sends it back to the edge. This is the feedback loop that creates intelligence. That AI model for traffic prediction, trained on a year of data in the cloud, it doesn't stay in the cloud. It gets compressed and sent back out to the edge devices at the intersections. Now, that smart camera isn't just reacting to the car in front of it, it's running a sophisticated predictive model. It knows that, based on the time of day, the weather, and events happening across town, This particular pattern of cars means a bottleneck is about to form. So it proactively changes the light timing, holding the green for an extra 3 seconds to clear the intersection before the jam ever materializes. The edge just got smarter. A lot smarter. It's no longer just a sensor. It's an intelligent agent, acting with the wisdom of the entire network. Let's make this real. Imagine a massive state-of-the-art factory, a so-called lights-out facility that runs almost entirely on its own. Its digital twin is a perfect one-to-one virtual copy. Every robot, every conveyor belt, every single machine is mirrored in the simulation. On the factory floor, the edge thousands of sensors monitor everything: temperature, vibration, power consumption, speed. An edge processor on a robotic arm detects a microscopic increase in vibration, a pattern it's been taught by the cloud AI to recognize as the early stages of bearing failure. It doesn't need to ask for permission. It instantly slows the arm's operation by 15% to reduce strain and sends a maintenance alert. The machine doesn't break down. Production doesn't stop. A multi-million-dollar failure is averted because of a decision made in a fraction of a second, right there on the factory floor. Meanwhile, the data about that vibration pattern is sent to the cloud. The digital twin updates. The cloud AI analyzes this new data point against the maintenance records of 10,000 other robotic arms across the company's global network. It discovers that this specific brand of bearing tends to fail 7% earlier in high-humidity environments. This is an insight that was impossible to see from just one factory. And here comes the feedback loop. The cloud updates the predictive maintenance AI for all the factories, pushing a new, smarter model out to every single edge device. Now, every robotic arm in the entire company is equipped with this new knowledge. They will all now predict this failure even earlier. The entire system learned, adapted, and improved from the cloud all the way down to a single screw on a single robot. That is the power of this partnership. The edge provides the real-time reflexes, the cloud provides the global intelligence, and the feedback loop makes the entire system smarter every single second. It's a self-improving organism of silicon and steel. We are talking about building systems that are not just automated but truly autonomous. Systems that can sense, understand, act, and learn. From a single factory to an entire city's water supply. From a fleet of autonomous trucks to the national power grid. Each part of the system is smart on its own, but it's also contributing to and benefiting from the wisdom of the whole. But as we build this perfect virtual mirror of our world, we have to ask some serious questions. If every aspect of a city is monitored, measured, and modeled, who owns that model? Who has access to that data? The potential for optimization and efficiency is immense, but so is the potential for control and surveillance. Building this incredible new world requires more than just brilliant engineering. It requires a new level of trust, security, and digital ethics. Because when you create a digital twin of the world, you also have to decide who gets to hold the keys. And that question, who holds the keys, is no longer a philosophical one. It is the single most critical engineering and ethical challenge of the 21st century. Because as we weave this digital nervous system into the fabric of our physical world, we are also creating vulnerabilities on a scale humanity has never witnessed before. We are building a world of unprecedented convenience and efficiency, but we are also building a world that could be catastrophically fragile. Think of the old internet, the one we grew up with, as a medieval fortress. It had a few massive, heavily guarded gates, your corporate firewall, your home router. The goal was to keep the bad guys outside the walls. But the world of edge computing isn't a fortress. It's a sprawling continent-sized city with billions upon billions of windows, doors, and back alleys. Every smart thermostat, every connected car, every factory sensor, every traffic light is a potential entry point. In cybersecurity, we call this the attack surface. And with the edge, that surface has exploded from a definable perimeter into a near-infinite, constantly shifting landscape. The stakes have changed, too. A decade ago, the worst-case scenario for a hack was your credit card number being stolen or your social media account being compromised. It was frustrating, invasive, but it was fundamentally a data problem. Today, when the edge controls physical reality, a hack is no longer just about data. It's about kinetic impact. It's about a hacker in a basement on the other side of the world, gaining the ability to shut down a city's power grid, to manipulate the water treatment systems, to take control of a fleet of autonomous trucks barreling down a highway at 70 miles per hour. This isn't fear-mongering. These are the scenarios that keep security professionals awake at night. The line between a digital intrusion and a physical disaster has been completely erased. The complexity is staggering. Imagine a single piece of data from a medical sensor on a patient's body. It might be processed first by a small chip on the sensor itself, then sent to a gateway in the hospital room, then to a local edge server in the hospital's basement for real-time analysis, before finally being archived in a massive cloud data center thousands of miles away. That's a long journey, a chain of custody that passes through hardware and software from dozens of different manufacturers. A single vulnerability, a single weak link anywhere in that chain, from the cheapest sensor to the most powerful cloud server, can compromise the entire system. And when it does, who is to blame? The sensor company? The hospital's IT department? The cloud provider? This ambiguity is a hacker's best friend. But the threat isn't just from malicious outsiders. There's a deeper, more insidious challenge that comes with this new world: the paradox of privacy. The very same technology that promises to make our lives safer, healthier, and more efficient does so by watching, listening, and learning from our every move. The smart speaker in your kitchen that plays your favorite music is also capable of hearing every conversation. The connected car that navigates you through traffic also logs every destination you visit, how aggressively you brake, and how fast you drive. The smart fridge that tells you when you're out of milk is also building a perfect record of your dietary habits. Individually, these data points might seem trivial, but when they are collected by the billions and fed into the massively powerful AI models running in the cloud, they paint a portrait of your life with a level of detail that would have been unimaginable just a generation ago. This is the power of inference. The cloud doesn't just know what you bought, it knows why you bought it. It can correlate your driving habits from your car, your heart rate from your smartwatch, and your grocery list from your fridge to determine with frightening accuracy your stress levels, your potential for developing a health condition, or even your emotional state after a difficult conversation. And the question again becomes, who holds the keys to this data? More importantly, who owns the inferences drawn from it? Can your health insurance company use this data to raise your premiums because you've been ordering too much takeout? Can a potential employer deny you a job because your car's data suggests you're an aggressive driver? Can a political campaign micro-target you with ads designed to prey on anxieties it has learned you have from your online activity and even your tone of voice? We are rapidly entering a world where our digital twin, the version of us that exists in the cloud, knows us better than we know ourselves. And that version is being bought and sold without our full understanding or consent. This sounds dystopian, and it could be. But the same partnership between edge and cloud that creates these challenges also provides the tools to solve them. It's a technological arms race, and the good news is, the architects of this new world are building the fortress as they expand the city. The first line of defense is a radical new philosophy called zero trust. The old model was trust but verify. The new model is never trust, always verify. In a zero-trust architecture, no device, no user, and no application is trusted by default, whether it's inside or outside the network. Every single request for data, every single command has to be authenticated and authorized every single time. It's the digital equivalent of having a security checkpoint not just at the main gate, but at the entrance to every single building, every floor, and every room in the entire city. And here the edge plays a crucial role in its own defense. By processing data locally, the edge drastically reduces the amount of sensitive information that needs to be sent across the network. Think about facial recognition on your smartphone. The most secure systems perform the analysis right there on the device. Your face print, your biometric identity, never leaves the palm of your hand. It's never sent to a cloud server where it could be vulnerable to a massive data breach. This is a profound shift. We can have the benefits of smart technology without surrendering our most personal data. The edge can become a personal data vault. Furthermore, these edge devices can become intelligent security agents. An edge-powered security camera can use onboard AI to detect a suspicious event and decide locally whether to sound an alarm or send a notification, rather than streaming endless hours of video to the cloud. A smart valve in a chemical plant can be programmed with its own safety parameters, allowing it to reject a malicious command from the network that tells it to open at a dangerous time. This decentralization makes the entire system more resilient. An attack on one part of the network doesn't automatically cascade into a total system failure. But the edge can't do it alone. The cloud becomes the central nervous system for this global security operation. Cloud platforms have a god's-eye view of the entire internet. Their AI systems can see the faint signals of a new type of cyber attack emerging in one corner of the world, analyze it, develop a defense, and then push security updates to billions of edge devices across the globe in a matter of minutes. It's a planetary-scale immune system, The cloud also provides the immense computational power needed to manage the cryptographic keys and identities for trillions of devices, ensuring that even if data is intercepted, it remains nothing more than encrypted, unreadable noise. Ultimately, however, technology alone is not the answer. Code cannot solve a problem of ethics. This new frontier demands a new social contract. It requires thoughtful regulation, like Europe's GDPR or California's Consumer Privacy Act, that establishes clear rules about data ownership and consent. It requires global standards for security, so that a cheap, insecure smart device can't become a backdoor into our critical infrastructure. And it requires a fierce public debate about what lines we are not willing to cross, what conveniences we are not willing to trade for our privacy and autonomy. The perfect partnership between edge and cloud isn't just about creating faster, smarter technology. It's about building a foundation of trust for the digital world to rest upon. The power we are unleashing is immense, capable of solving some of humanity's greatest challenges. But with that power comes a responsibility that is just as great. The next phase of this revolution won't be defined by the speed of our networks or the intelligence of our algorithms, but by our wisdom in deploying them. Because we are not just building smart cities and autonomous factories. We are building the world our children will inherit. And we only have one chance to get it right. And nowhere is getting it right more critical than in the one area that touches every single one of us, our health. Imagine an ambulance, screaming through city streets. Inside, a patient is in critical condition after a sudden cardiac event. In the old world, the paramedics are working with limited information. They're relaying vital signs over a radio, describing symptoms, and racing against a clock that ticks away precious seconds, precious heartbeats. The hospital is preparing, but they're preparing blind, reacting to information that is already seconds or even minutes old. Now let's place this same scene in the world we are building. The moment the paramedics arrive, they attach a suite of smart sensors to the patient. These are not just dumb monitors, they are intelligent edge devices. An AI-powered ultrasound probe, guided by a paramedic's hand, is already building a 3D model of the heart, identifying the blockage in real time. A wearable on the patient's wrist is analyzing blood chemistry on the fly. This torrent of data isn't being sent on a slow, arduous journey to a distant cloud server. That would be a death sentence. Instead, it's being processed right there, in the ambulance, on a powerful edge computing node. This local intelligence, this digital first responder, is performing triage at the speed of light. It's cross-referencing the patient's live vitals with their digital medical history, instantly flagging a dangerous allergy to a common blood thinner. It's analyzing the EKG patterns and predicting the likelihood of a second cardiac arrest in the next 10 minutes. All of this crucial, life-saving insight is generated before the ambulance even reaches the hospital. The emergency room isn't just waiting. They're watching a live, high-fidelity digital twin of the patient. The surgeon knows exactly what she's dealing with. The right equipment is prepped, the right specialists are scrubbed in, and the plan of attack is already in motion. The battle isn't won when the patient arrives. It's won on the journey there. This isn't science fiction. This is the power of edge computing in healthcare. It's about moving the computation to the patient, not the patient's data to a distant server. It's about shrinking the world down to the size of a hospital gurney and making life or death decisions in the milliseconds that matter. But if the edge is the paramedic in the field, the cloud is the world-renowned research hospital it communicates with. Once the immediate crisis is over, that rich, anonymized data from the ambulance ride, the 3D heart model, the blood chemistry analysis, the EKG readings, is securely sent to the cloud. Here, it joins a colossal dataset from millions of other cardiac events from around the globe. This is where the second miracle happens. Cloud-based AI algorithms, with their godlike computational power, sift through this ocean of information. They find patterns we humans could never see. They discover that a subtle, previously unnoticed flutter in an EKG is a powerful predictor of this specific type of heart attack. They learn that patients with a certain genetic marker respond better to a different surgical technique. This insight is then pushed back out to every single smart ambulance, every ER, every cardiologist's tablet in the network. The experience of one patient in Phoenix, anonymously and securely, has just helped make the diagnosis for another patient in Philadelphia more accurate. The cloud becomes our collective medical memory, a global library of clinical wisdom that is constantly learning and constantly teaching. The edge provides the immediate reflex, the cloud provides the deep, evolving intelligence. This partnership fundamentally redefines what healthcare even means. Think about remote patient monitoring for our aging parents. A network of discrete, ambient sensors in their home edge devices can monitor gait, sleep patterns, and daily routines. A wearable can track heart rate, oxygen levels, and body temperature. The Edge AI running locally in the home doesn't need to stream a 24/7 video feed to a server, which would be a massive invasion of privacy. Instead, it just learns the rhythm of a normal day. It only acts when it detects an anomaly, a fall, a prolonged period of inactivity, a dangerously irregular heartbeat. In that moment, it sends a targeted, critical alert to family members and emergency services, containing only the necessary data. The privacy of the 99.9% of normal life is preserved, while the 0.1% of crisis is handled with lightning speed. Meanwhile, the long-term, non-critical data is sent to the cloud, allowing a doctor to see subtle trends over months. They might notice a gradual decline in sleep quality or a slight change in gait that could be an early warning sign of a neurological condition, enabling intervention years before it would have otherwise been caught. The edge protects the person in the moment, the cloud protects their future. Or consider the frontier of robotic surgery. A master surgeon in Boston can operate on a patient in rural Montana, her hands controlling a hyper-precise robotic system. This is only possible because of the near-zero latency of edge computing. The feedback loop between the surgeon's movement and the robot's action must be instantaneous. A half-second delay could be catastrophic. The edge node at the rural hospital processes the surgeon's commands locally, translating them into robotic motion in real time. But where does the cloud fit in? The cloud has analyzed 10,000 previous surgeries of this exact type. It provides the AI that gives the surgeon real-time guidance, subtly highlighting nerves to avoid or suggesting a more optimal incision path based on the patient's unique anatomy, which was preloaded and modeled. The edge delivers the surgeon's skill across 1,000 miles. The cloud delivers the combined experience of 1,000 surgeons into her ear. This extends all the way down to the code of life itself. Personalized medicine is the ultimate goal. Treatments tailored not to the average person, but specifically to your unique genetic makeup. Sequencing a human genome is an unbelievably data-intensive task, a perfect job for the immense power of the cloud. But once your genome is sequenced, how do we use that information in your daily life? An edge device, perhaps an intelligent insulin pump, could monitor your blood sugar in real time. Knowing your genetic predisposition, it doesn't just administer a standard dose of insulin. It calculates the precise, optimal dose for you at that exact moment, based on your genetics, your current activity level, and the meal you just ate. The cloud holds the blueprint of you. The edge is the master craftsman that uses that blueprint to keep you healthy, moment by moment. From the frantic urgency of an ambulance to the quiet dignity of aging at home, from the microscopic precision of a robot's scalpel to the very DNA that makes us who we are, this partnership is not just improving our healthcare system. It is building a new one from the ground up. It's a system that is faster, smarter, more private, and profoundly more human. It's a nervous system for humanity's health, with intelligent reflexes at the edge and a deep, contemplative consciousness in the cloud. And if this is what this new digital nervous system can do for the human body, imagine what happens when we give it to the backbone of our entire civilization, our industries. Take a factory. Not some futuristic sci-fi concept, but a real sprawling 1,000-ton of steel and concrete factory that exists today. For a century, the model has been the same. A rigid top-down assembly line. A central brain, the control room, tries to manage a clumsy, unfeeling body. If a machine breaks down, the entire line stops. A single point of failure can cost millions. Quality control is a postmortem. You find the mistakes after they've already been made, forcing you to scrap an entire batch. It's powerful, but it's also dumb. It's a body with no nerve endings. Now, let's give it that digital nervous system. We embed thousands of tiny, powerful edge computers throughout the factory floor. They are the nerve endings. An AI-powered camera, no bigger than your fist, is mounted over the conveyor belt. It's not just a camera. It's an edge device with a brain. It's been trained to spot microscopic defects in a microchip that the human eye could never see. For a traditional system, this camera would have to stream high-definition video to a central server, maybe even to the cloud. The data would travel, get processed, a decision would be made, and a command would be sent back. By the time that happens, 1,000 more faulty chips have already passed by. It's too slow. But with edge computing, the camera doesn't send the video. Processes it right there on the device in less than the blink of an eye. It sees a hairline fracture. And it doesn't just see it, it acts. It sends a simple, direct signal to a robotic arm just inches away. Defective unit at coordinate X, Y. The arm twitches, plucks the faulty chip off the line, and drops it into a rejection bin. The rest of the line never even slows down. That is a reflex. Instantaneous, localized, and brutally efficient. Let's go deeper. On a massive stamping press, a series of sensors are listening. Not for sound, but for vibration. They're measuring temperature, pressure, and electrical current 1,000 times a second. These are its nerve endings feeling the machine's health. For decades, maintenance was a guessing game. You'd shut down the machine every 6 months to replace parts, whether they needed it or not. Or worse, you'd wait for it to break, grinding the entire factory to a halt. Now, the edge device connected to those sensors is running a sophisticated machine learning model. It knows the unique vibrational signature of this exact machine when it's healthy. And right now, it detects a subtle change. A frequency that's off by a fraction of a hertz. To a human, it's imperceptible. To the old system, it's just noise in the data. But to the edge model, it's a clear signal. It's the whisper of a bearing beginning to fail. The edge device doesn't flood a central server with terabytes of vibration data. It sends a tiny, elegant packet of information. Machine 42, bearing C7, 98% probability of failure within 72 hours. It's not a guess, it's a diagnosis. Maintenance can now be scheduled for a planned downtime. The part replaced with surgical precision, and a multi-million-dollar failure is averted. It's the industrial equivalent of feeling a sharp pain and pulling your hand away from the fire before you get burned. This is the power of the edge. It gives our industries reflexes, but reflexes on their own are just reactions. To build the future, you need more than just reflexes. You need a mind. You need the cloud. All of those tiny intelligent decisions, the rejected chip, the preemptive maintenance alert, generate small critical pieces of data. That data flows from thousands of devices across the entire factory, up to the cloud. And this is where the magic scales up. The cloud isn't looking at one machine. It's looking at the entire organism. It aggregates the data from every single stamping press, across a company's 10 factories around the globe. And it discovers a pattern. The bearings from supplier A are failing 20% faster in factories located in high humidity climates. That is an earth-shattering insight that no single edge device could ever have. It's a deep strategic understanding that allows the company to change its entire supply chain, saving hundreds of millions of dollars. The cloud analyzes the flow of the entire assembly line, using data from every sensor. It builds a complete digital twin, a perfect virtual replica of the factory. In this simulation, it can run 1 million different scenarios. What if we speed up this conveyor by 2% and slow down that robotic arm by 3%? The simulation shows it would eliminate a bottleneck downstream and increase overall production by 8%. The cloud then pushes this new, optimized software model back down to the edge devices on the factory floor, and overnight the entire factory gets smarter. This isn't just a simple command and control. This is a symbiotic learning loop. The edge provides the real-time ground truth data. The cloud provides the big picture analysis and intelligence. The cloud thinks, the edge acts. The brain strategizes, the body executes. It's the perfect partnership. And this nervous system is not confined to the factory walls. It's spreading to the very foundations of our civilization. Consider our power grid. For a century, it's been a one-way street. Power flows from a central plant out to our homes. It's fragile. A single downed tree can black out an entire neighborhood. Now we're building a smart grid. The edge devices are the smart meters on our houses, the sensors on transformers, the controllers on wind turbines and solar farms. When a storm knocks down a power line, the edge devices on either side of the break detect the loss of connection instantly. In milliseconds, before the central command even knows there's a problem, they automatically communicate with each other and reroute power around the break. For most people, the lights might flicker for a second, but they won't go out. That's a reflex. It's the grid healing itself in real time. Meanwhile, the cloud is the grid's consciousness. It's taking in data from every smart meter, every solar panel, every weather satellite. It knows a heat wave is coming to Phoenix next week. It analyzes historical data and predicts that energy demand will spike at 4 p.m. It also sees from weather forecasts that it will be partly cloudy, reducing solar power generation. So it automatically begins to store more energy in grid-scale batteries in the days leading up to the heat wave, and it might even send a signal to large industrial users, offering them a discount if they shift their heavy energy use to the middle of the night. It's not just reacting to blackouts, it's preventing them from ever happening. Think about agriculture. We need to feed a growing planet with less water and less land. The answer isn't just more fertilizer, it's more data. A drone equipped with an edge-powered hyperspectral camera flies over a 1,000-acre farm. It's not just taking pictures. The computer on board is analyzing the light reflected from the crops, leaf by leaf. It instantly identifies a small patch in the far corner of the field where the nitrogen levels are low, and another section where a specific type of pest is starting to appear. The drone doesn't send terabytes of image data back to a farmer. It sends precise GPS coordinates. A smart, autonomous tractor is then dispatched to that exact spot to deliver a microdose of fertilizer. A second drone targets the pests with a pinpoint application of pesticide. This is precision agriculture. It's the difference between flooding your whole body with antibiotics for a small cut on your finger and just applying a single drop of antiseptic exactly where it's needed. And the cloud? It's collecting this data from every square foot of the farm, season after season. It combines it with soil sensor data, weather patterns, and satellite imagery. It builds a model so sophisticated it can tell the farmer that if they plant a specific variety of corn in this half of the field and rotate it with soybeans next year, their yield will increase by 12% while using 15% less water. It's the farm's long-term memory and its strategic mind. In every case, the story is the same. Manufacturing, energy, agriculture, the bedrock of our world. We are giving our industries a nervous system. The edge provides the immediate, life-saving reflexes. The cloud provides the deep, world-changing consciousness. One without the other is crippled. A body with only reflexes is a creature of instinct, incapable of planning or learning. A brain with no body is a prisoner, full of brilliant ideas it can never execute. But together they create something new. A system that is resilient, efficient, and intelligent in a way we've never seen before. We've given our machines a nervous system. Now, what happens when we give one to our cities? Imagine a living organism. It has a brain, the central command, capable of complex thought, memory, and long-term planning. But it also has a nervous system, a network of reflexes that can react to touch, to heat, to danger in an instant without even thinking. This is the essence of survival. For decades, our cities have had a brain, centralized data centers, the cloud, but they've lacked a nervous system. They could collect information, analyze it slowly, and create a report. But they couldn't feel. They couldn't react. Not in real time. Not where it matters. On the street corner, in the power line, on the bridge you drive over every single day. That's the city of the past. A lumbering giant, slow to respond, often overwhelmed. The city of the future is different. It's alive. And its nervous system is the partnership between the edge and the cloud. Let's start with something we all universally hate: traffic. It's more than an annoyance, it's a thief. It steals our time, our fuel, our patience. The old way of managing traffic was a joke. Timers. Simple metal detecting loops in the asphalt. A system so dumb it would keep you stuck at a red light at 3 a.m. with not another car in sight. Now, place an edge device on that traffic light. Not just a camera, but a small, powerful computer. Sees the world in real time. It doesn't need to send a massive video stream to the cloud to ask, "What should I do?" It decides right there. It sees the backup in the left turn lane and extends the green arrow for 10 seconds. It sees a pedestrian approaching the crosswalk and holds the light. It detects the flashing strobes of an ambulance 2 blocks away and immediately begins sequencing the lights ahead to turn green, creating a clear, safe corridor. This is the reflex. Instantaneous, localized, and life-saving. But reflexes aren't enough. You also need intelligence. Every decision that every one of those thousands of edge devices makes. Every car it counts. Every near miss it registers. Every traffic flow pattern it observes. Sends a tiny, efficient packet of data to the city's cloud brain. The cloud isn't watching one intersection. It's watching all of them. It's the grand chess master. It sees the traffic from the baseball game getting out and predicts its impact on the freeway 30 minutes from now. It analyzes years of data to understand that a certain street becomes a bottleneck every Friday afternoon and can proactively reroute traffic before the jam even begins. The edge fights the traffic battle on every street corner. The cloud wins the war for the entire city. This same principle transforms public safety. Think about the most critical moments in an emergency. Every single second counts. The old system: someone sees something, calls 911. A dispatcher takes the information and radios a car. The information is secondhand, the location is approximate, the response is reactive. The smart city is proactive. An edge device, a sophisticated audio sensor on a lamppost, hears a sound. It doesn't just record it, it analyzes it on the spot. Is it a car backfiring? A firework? Or is it the distinct acoustic signature of a gunshot? In less than a second, the edge computer confirms, gunshot. It doesn't need to send the audio file. It sends a tiny piece of metadata to the cloud. Gunshot confirmed. Location, 34.0522 degrees north, 118.2437 degrees west. Time, 2 hours 17 minutes and 4 seconds. Instantly, the cloud brain takes over. It pulls up every camera within a 500-foot radius of that location. It pinpoints the closest police and medical units using their vehicle GPS. It automatically dispatches them, not to the general area, but to the precise coordinates. While they're en route, the cloud is already analyzing camera feeds, looking for a suspect or a vehicle, and pushing that information directly to the officer's terminals. The system isn't just faster, it's smarter. It provides situational awareness that was impossible just a few years ago. The edge is the eyewitness. The cloud is the master detective. This living city even manages its own metabolism, its use of power and water. Our current power grid is a relic. It's a one-way street of power flowing from a plant to your home, and it's incredibly fragile. A single down transformer can plunge thousands into darkness. In a smart grid, edge computing devices live everywhere. On the transformers, in the substations, in the smart meter on the side of your house. They are constantly monitoring the flow of electricity, the voltage, the demand. If they detect a fault, a tree branch hitting a line, the edge device can instantly isolate that tiny segment of the grid, rerouting power around it in milliseconds. A potential neighborhood-wide blackout becomes a momentary flicker that you barely even notice. Meanwhile, all that data flows to the cloud, which is managing the city's entire energy appetite. It sees a heat wave coming next week and knows air conditioning use is about to spike. It can preemptively buy energy on the open market when it's cheaper, or bring more renewable sources like solar and wind online to handle the load. It can even communicate with smart appliances in homes, subtly shifting the time a water heater runs to a period of lower demand, saving the city energy and saving you money. The edge prevents the crisis. The cloud creates efficiency and resilience. Even the very bones of the city, its bridges, its pipes, its roads are coming alive. We currently rely on manual inspections. A person has to physically go out and look at a bridge. It's expensive, it's infrequent, and it can miss the invisible dangers lurking within the steel and concrete. Now imagine embedding tiny low-power edge sensors inside the bridge itself when it's built. These sensors do one thing: they listen. They use ultrasonic waves to monitor the structural integrity of the rebar. They feel for vibrations that signal stress. For years, they may do nothing but send a tiny, daily heartbeat signal to the cloud. All is well. But one day, one sensor detects a microfracture, a change in vibration invisible to the human eye. It sends an alert. The cloud receives this single critical piece of data. It immediately pulls the bridge's original blueprints, its full maintenance history, the current and projected traffic loads, and even recent weather data. It runs complex simulations to determine the severity of the issue and how fast it might progress. It then automatically creates a work order, prioritizes it against every other infrastructure need in the city, and dispatches a crew with precise information about where to look and what they're looking for. A potential catastrophe is averted and becomes a routine repair, all because an edge device was listening. This is the profound shift. We are moving from a world of passive infrastructure to active, intelligent environments. The edge and the cloud are giving our cities a central nervous system, a system that makes them more efficient, saving us billions of dollars, a system that makes them safer, saving lives, a system that makes them more resilient, able to withstand the shocks of the future. But it's easy to get lost in the technology and miss the human element. This isn't just about data and efficiency. It's about quality of life. It's about giving people back 20 minutes of their day that they would have spent in traffic. It's about an elderly person who falls getting help faster because a sensor in their home alerted first responders. It's about breathing cleaner air because the city can manage traffic to reduce emissions. Of course, this vision comes with monumental questions. A city that sees and hears everything raises profound concerns about privacy and surveillance. A system so interconnected raises the stakes of cybersecurity. Hacking a traffic light is one thing. Hacking the entire grid is another. These aren't technological problems, they are human problems. The challenge isn't building the smart city. It's building the wise city. The code is being written, the sensors are being deployed. The social contract that governs them is what we must now write together. We've explored how this partnership is revolutionizing our machines and our cities, creating vast, interconnected systems that operate on a scale we've never seen. We've built a city with a nervous system that can see, hear, and react. But what happens when this system stops just managing the world around us and starts managing the world within us? The line between human and machine is about to get very, very blurry. For decades, technology has been a tool, something external, something we hold in our hand, place on our desk, or wear on our wrist. But the next great leap isn't about a faster phone or a bigger screen. The next leap is inward. The perfect partnership of edge and cloud computing isn't just going to run our cities. It's poised to run in our veins, to connect with our neurons, to augment the very fabric of our biology. Think about healthcare today. It's reactive. We wait for symptoms, we go to a doctor, we get a diagnosis. It's an inefficient, often terrifying process. Now, imagine a future where this entire model is obsolete. Imagine microscopic, biointegrated sensors, nanobots swimming in your bloodstream. Each one is a tiny edge device. Its job is singular and critical. It doesn't need to talk to the cloud to know what a cancerous cell looks like. That intelligence, trained on millions of samples, is baked right into its local processing. When it encounters a malignant cell, it acts instantly. It deploys a microscopic payload of medicine, neutralizing the threat before it can ever become a tumor. No chemotherapy, no radiation, no surgery. The problem is solved before you ever knew you had it. This is edge computing at its most personal. It's life or death decisions being made in microseconds, inside your own body with zero latency. But where does the cloud come in? After the nanobot does its job, it sends a tiny, anonymized data packet to the cloud. Just the essentials, the genetic marker of the cancer cell it found, the location, the time. Now multiply that by 100 million people. The cloud isn't just storing data. It's building a living, breathing, real-time map of human disease. AI in the cloud can now see pandemics forming before they start. It can spot new mutations of a virus the moment they appear anywhere on Earth. It can design new treatments not in years but in hours by analyzing a global, constantly updating dataset of our collective biology. The edge is the silent guardian in your body. The cloud is the global immunologist protecting our entire species. But it doesn't stop with fixing what's broken. It moves on to enhancing what we already have. Consider the human brain. It's the most complex object in the known universe, but it's still bound by physical laws. It gets tired, it forgets, it can be crippled by injury or disease. The next frontier is the brain-computer interface, or BCI. Early versions are already here, helping paralyzed individuals control robotic limbs. But with the power of edge and cloud, this technology transcends therapy and enters the realm of augmentation. Imagine a neural lace, a microscopic mesh that integrates with your cerebral cortex. The edge component is the lace itself. It sits at the intersection of thought and biology. It can translate your neural signals directly into digital commands. Think a thought and your smart home responds. Imagine a complex mathematical equation, and the answer appears in your mind's eye. For a creative professional, it could mean composing music or designing a building just by thinking about it. This is extreme low-latency processing. The translation from intent to action has to be instantaneous, and that can only happen on the edge. The cloud, in this partnership, becomes your external brain. It's the backup for your memories, a vast, searchable archive of your entire life, accessible with a thought. It's where you could download new skills, not by spending 10,000 hours practicing, but by having the neural pathways for speaking Mandarin, or flying a helicopter downloaded from the cloud and mapped onto your own brain by the neural lace. This sounds like science fiction, but the foundational pieces, the edge processors, the cloud infrastructure, the early BCIs, are all being built right now. We are building the tools to fundamentally rewrite the human experience. When we connect our bodies and our brains to this network, we create something unprecedented. A digital nervous system for humanity itself. The edge devices in our homes, our cars, our cities, and eventually in us are the nerve endings. They are the trillions of points of contact with the physical world, feeling, seeing, and hearing everything in real time. The cloud is the global brain. It's the cerebrum, processing this incomprehensible flood of information, identifying patterns, making predictions, and coordinating a response. A traffic jam in Tokyo could inform a self-driving car in Los Angeles to take a different route. A new farming technique discovered in a vertical farm in Dubai could be instantly implemented by automated farming equipment in rural Nebraska. The collective knowledge and experience of humanity would no longer be siloed in books or individual minds. It would become a shared, instantly accessible resource. We would be individual cells in a larger planetary-scale organism, but we have to be brutally honest with ourselves. Every technological utopia has a shadow, a potential dystopia lurking within its code, and the shadow of this future is vast. When the network is not just around you but inside you, what happens to privacy, to free will? Who owns the data generated by your own bloodstream? Who has the right to access your thoughts? If your memories are stored in the cloud, can they be hacked, altered, deleted? What happens if there's a bug in the code of a nanobot tasked with killing cancer cells? What if the AI in the cloud, tasked with managing the global food supply, makes a catastrophic miscalculation? The very things that give this system its power, its interconnectedness, its speed, its scale, also create unprecedented vulnerabilities. A single point of failure could have consequences that ripple across the entire globe, or across our very biology. And perhaps the most profound question is one of control. If your perception of reality can be augmented by a neural lace, it can also be manipulated. The line between what is real and what is a digital overlay could be erased not by you but for you, by a corporation looking to sell you something, or a government looking to control a population. The ultimate prison isn't one with walls and bars. It's one where you don't even know you're a prisoner, where the very thoughts you believe are your own are quietly suggested to you by an algorithm. This is the precipice on which we stand. The perfect partnership of edge and cloud computing is not just an evolution in technology. It is, quite possibly, the next evolution of humanity itself. It offers a future free from disease, a future of boundless creativity, a future of shared, collective intelligence that could solve the greatest challenges we face: climate change, poverty, exploration of the cosmos. But it also holds the potential for a level of control and surveillance that would make George Orwell's 1984 look quaint. The choice is ours. This future isn't inevitable. It will be built line by line, decision by decision by us. We are the architects. The raw power of the cloud's centralized brain and the distributed, lightning-fast reflexes of the edge are the most powerful building materials humanity has ever had. The question we must now answer, the one that will define the 21st century and beyond, is a simple one. What will we choose to build?